What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Everyday Sports Mania. In today's video, I'm going to be doing another tier list. This time, we're doing the running backs, as you see. Same tiers, and it seems like yesterday you guys liked the quarterback tier list, so I'll be doing a running back tier list, and we'll keep the streak going with wide receiver, tight end, etc., and then the defense, of course. For this, we have tiers elite, borderline elite, above average, solid, below average, backup, trash, and undecided. Undecided could be guys like a backup or a guy who's been injured. But without any further ado, let's get into it. We got more players, so we're going to have to get through it a little bit quicker. Rex Burkhead's a backup. He for the New England Patriots, he was pretty decent before he got hurt. But Rex Burkhead, he's just a backup running back. Sony Michel, I think, is a below average back. He was picked in the first round by the Patriots in 2018. He's never really had a standout season, and now he's sort of a backup running back behind Damian Harris and James White, but he's still not awful when they play him. David Johnson's trash. David Johnson's had the opportunities to succeed. He only had one good season. Some people said he's awful. Others said he had a chance to redeem himself with Houston. He didn't. He's trash, and he's worse than a backup. Next we got Cam Akers. Cam Akers, I think, is a solid running back. I think next year he will be the full starting running back for the Rams. I don't think he'll be a backup. We don't have a tier for like young, but I think definitely he's a solid running back. In the games he played, he was good. Aaron Jones, I think, is borderline elite. I don't think Aaron Jones is an elite running back yet. I think maybe if Aaron Jones does a little bit better in the running department, he can be an elite running back. But for now, I'm going to have him in borderline elite. Gus Edwards is a backup running back. That guy's a tank, but he still doesn't get any time with not Cam Akers, with J.K. Dobbins and Mark Ingram in front of him. He doesn't get much time. So he's definitely just a backup running back and plays well if they put him in. Myles Gaskins, I think, a below average running back. I'll put him in solid, actually. Myles Gaskin was very good for the Dolphins. The Dolphins signed Jordan Howard and Matt Breida. But Myles Gaskin was the guy who really just asserted himself as the running back for that team. I don't know if he'll be the running back next season, but I think he's solid. He played solid. I think Chris Carson's solid as well. Many people will put him up here. I think Chris Carson, the problem with him is his yards per carry. He's decent in the receiving department, and he's a good third down running back, and he's got a lot of stamina, but he's just not that fast, and he's not that good. He's not that good yards per carry. Darrell Henderson, the other Rams running back, I think he is a below average back. I don't think he's bad, and I don't think he's a backup running back, so we're going to put him below average. Devin Singletary's a below average back. Just like Gus Edwards, he gets no time, and the Bills, I think, will not move on from him, but I think the Bills will stick with Zach Moss as their number one running back because I think Zach Moss pleased them a little bit more. Derrick Henry is elite. Of course he is. Derrick Henry is a horse. He's basically Gus Edwards, but 15 times better. He's huge, and he dropped 2,000 yards this season, which is insane. Derrick Henry is an elite running back, no doubt about it. James Conner, I think, is a below average back. And I think the reason is just like Gus Edwards, just like Devin Singletary, he doesn't get enough time. He's better than Benny Snell, 100%. But the Steelers just don't give him the time. And the Steelers, I think he would be in solid if he got more time, maybe even above average. But for now, he's a below average back. He gets no time to really show his talent. Dalvin Cook is elite. As we all know, Dalvin Cook, one of the most electric running backs in the NFL, very elusive and he's very dangerous when he's in the open field. Antonio Gibson, I think I may make a tier of young and promising because Antonio Gibson had a promising first season. I wouldn't say that he's an above average running back yet, but he's a solid running back for now. Joe Mixon, I think Joe Mixon is an above average back. I think Joe Mixon, when he's healthy, he plays really good, just like James Conner, but a little bit better. But I think Joe Mixon, he's just not healthy a ton. But when he's healthy, he's a great running back. And I wouldn't say he's borderline elite, but I think he's an above average back. Duke Johnson, do I put him in back? I think Duke Johnson's below average. I think Duke Johnson was good in the receiving game this season, and they more use him as a receiving back. And I think Duke Johnson is a solid backup running back for the Texans. He's better than David Johnson, but he's not. I wouldn't say he's solid just yet. Miles Sanders, I think, is an above average back. He was pretty decent. I'll put him in solid. I don't think he's on Joe Mixon's level because he got a lot of time this season because he kind of overcame Boston Scott. And Boston Scott was probably the running back people thought, when then Miles Sanders at the end of last season proved himself that he was going to be a running back. This season he did very well. But I wouldn't say he's an above average back just yet. Maybe in the future. James White's one of my favorite Patriots players. I think he's a solid back. I think he's a top 10 receiving back in the NFL. I don't think you put him up with McCaffrey and Kamara, but I definitely think he's up there. I think he's better than Duke Johnson in the receiving game. And the problem is the running game. He can't really get going in the running department. But James White's almost like a running back, receiver. Nick Chubb is elite, no question. He's a tank. Nick Chubb is the core of the Browns offense, and the Browns are really building around their running game. But Nick Chubb is outstanding. Zach Moss, I think Zach Moss is a below average. I don't know if I should make another tier because I think Zach Moss was solid. I think Zach Moss. Now I'm gonna put him below average. Zach Moss, he played well, but he didn't really deserve. He doesn't really deserve to be in the solid category. Raheem Mostert, I'm undecided about just because he played great with San Francisco in the playoffs in their Super Bowl run. This season, he was injured most of the season, and the 49ers really just like the Bills. One game they had Mostert getting 30 carries. One game it's Jerick McKinnon. One game it's Tevin Coleman. One game it's Jeff Wilson. It's not a real running game, but I'll put him in undecided. Le'Veon Bell is a backup. Le'Veon Bell, I think, is a below average back. Le'Veon Bell isn't the same running back he was 3 seasons ago, 4 seasons ago. And with the Chiefs, he's really became a backup. But I still think when he gets the ball, he's pretty good. And then Kerryon Johnson. Oh, Kerryon Johnson. Kerryon Johnson's a backup. I think he's young and he's promising, but the Lions just won't give him time. They drafted DeAndre Swift, and Swift was very good, but they just don't want to give him time. So Johnson's a backup. Chase Edmonds a backup. Todd Gurley. I think Todd Gurley is he's been in and out of the lineup and he's been hurt, and ever since he got hurt with the Rams, he really hasn't had. I'll put him in below average. I think Gurley, many people thought he was going to have a redemption year. He didn't. But I think Todd Gurley still is a below average back. He's serviceable. That was the other tier we had. We didn't do that anymore. J.K. Dobbins. Do I put that rookie tier? I think J.K. Dobbins. I'm gonna make the tier. So yeah. Oh shoot. Yeah, but I think I think we need another tier. So add row below, and that will be young and promising. Young and promising for guys like Myles Gaskin, Antonio Gibson. So let's put Zach Moss, Antonio Gibson, and J.K. Dobbins and Cam Akers in there because they're all young and promising. I don't think Singletary should be there. Neither should Darrell Henderson. Giovanni Bernard's a backup. And then A.J. Dillon, I think he's young and promising. I think Aaron Jones will leave, so I think Dillon will be their guy next season. Kareem Hunt's a backup, but he's not at the same time. I think Kareem Hunt's an above average running back. I think Kareem Hunt has just been so electrifying when he gets the ball, and he has to split carries with Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb's a top 5 running back in the league, and I think Kareem Hunt, definitely the fact that he has split carries, he's above average. When he was with the Kansas City Chiefs, he was outstanding. James Robinson, young and promising. I almost don't even want to put him here. I'm going to put him in above average. He is better than every single one of these guys by far. James Robinson was outstanding. And I think in years to come, James Robinson will be up here with Nick Chubb, Derrick Henry, and Aaron Jones. Frank Gore, I hate to do this. You know what? I'm not doing it. Frank Gore's not trash. Frank Gore is 37 and is better than David Johnson. Damian Harrison is young and promising. He was in and out of the lineup for New England this year. And in the times he got the ball, he was very efficient. He was a truck, and I think he will be the future back for the Patriots. And I think definitely if he was healthy this season, he could be up here, maybe and even above average. For now, he's young and promising. Zeke. I'm coming back to Zeke. I don't know where to put Zeke. Kenny Drake. I think Kenny Drake's solid. I mean, he's just not. I'm gonna put this tier, young and promising, above that. Kenny Drake wasn't bad, but he's just not he's not an above average back. He's a solid slash serviceable running back. Austin Ekeler. I don't care what anyone says. Austin Ekeler's borderline elite. That man is behind Christian McCaffrey, he is the best receiving back in the league. I know his rushing stats aren't amazing, but if you throw him the ball, he's gonna catch the ball, and he's gonna play like a receiver. He deserves this just as much as Aaron Jones. Josh Jacobs, I think he's more than young and promising. He's going into his third season, so I think he's an above average back. He's been in and out of the lineup, but he's been great for the He's been great for the Raiders in his short career. Mack, I think Marlon Mack's he's solid. Marlon Mack, I think he somewhat got replaced by Jonathan Taylor, but he's just not bad. I should say. I don't think he'll be the number one next year. Alvin Kamara is elite. Alvin Kamara is a very good receiving threat, and he's an underrated running back. I think he's a better carrier than Ekeler, but I think he's just as good as the receiving department. AP, he's a backup. Sorry, Frank. Sorry, Frank. You're trash. I'm sorry. But Adrian Peterson, I think he's a backup. Just because he's old, I think he's almost 35. I don't think he's on the level that Gurley, Singletary, Connor are on, but he's not bad. Saquon Barkley, I'm undecided about. And many people, if I was going to decide, he would be right here. And I'm sorry, he would be an above average or he would be in solid because Saquon Barkley is not an elite running back because he's missed the last 2 seasons and he had a great rookie campaign. I agree, but he hasn't played since then. This is going into next year, not in his career. And I don't know if Saquon Barkley will be that good coming off of injuries. McCaffrey, I think I'm decided about McCaffrey. I think McCaffrey's not elite. I think he's borderline. Um, yeah, I'll put him in elite. Rojo, Ronald Jones. Ronald Jones is he's solid. In one game he's fumbling every play. One game he's getting a yard per carry. The next he's running for 3 touchdowns a half. The Lamichael Perine, he's a backup. He's trash. Lamichael Perine's not good. Clyde Edwards-Hilaire's young and promising. Many people wish he was up here in the borderline elite RIP fantasy owners who spent their first round pick on him. But I think he's definitely young and promising. I don't think Kansas City used him the right way. I think they need to give him the ball a little bit more. David Montgomery, he's a above average back, and I think he's gotten to the point where he's not young and promising. I think he's already made a statement that he's more than a young and promising back. D'Andre Swift, another young and promising back. I think he's on the same level with all these guys, and I think he played very well in his rookie season. And I think he definitely will be up here in the above average category. And I think he will do better. Sorry about that. I think he will do better with Jared Goff next season. Melvin Gordon. Melvin Gordon's solid. I mean, he's not the same 2018 Chargers running back, but he wasn't bad. I think Philip Lindsay's better than him. I'll put Philip Lindsay in front of him, but they're both solid. Jonathan Taylor, I think Jonathan Taylor's better than Young and Promising. But I'm gonna keep him there. I would say Jonathan Taylor's the best back around about out of these. But Jonathan Taylor definitely will probably take over the running game in Indianapolis. He looked very good this season, and he definitely is a threat in both the receiving game and the running game. I just noticed no Nyheim Hines, which is a little unfortunate. Leonard Fournette's inconsistent, but he's solid. Playoff Leonard Fournette was up here, but regular season was down here. So I'm going to put him in the middle. Zeke. Oh, Zeke, I think this is going to get a lot of controversy, but Zeke is not a borderline elite running back anymore. I get it. His offensive line has regressed terribly, terribly since like 2018. But Zeke, he just fumbles too much. He's just not doing all that well, and he's just not averaging the yards per carry he needs to be up here with Eckler, Jones, Henry, Cook. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like on the video. We're on the road to 200 subscribers. And tell me in the comments down below if you like these tier lists, and I'll keep on doing them. But I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.